I'm Stephanie from the Youth Services Department. On behalf of the Highland Park Public Library, we'd like to welcome you to Library in Your Living Room. Today, we're pleased to present That's Tertainment Book Talk Edition. Thanks for joining me. All the books I'm presenting today are available on our website through Overdrive, which offers ebooks, e-audiobooks, kids' movies, and more. You can find information on accessing Overdrive at the very end of this presentation after the closing song. The books I'm presenting today are all on the 2021 Book Match list, which is now available on our website. Book Match is a friendly reading competition open to District 112 4th and 5th graders. To find the 2021 Book Match list on our website, go to www.hplibrary.org, click on Books, Movies, More, click Great Reads for Kids, and scroll down to the Book Match link. Our first book today, Max and the Midnights by Lincoln Pierce, is available as an ebook on Overdrive. Uncle Budrick is a troubadour. Max is his apprentice. Max doesn't want to be a troubadour. She wants to be a knight. But that will probably never happen because her uncle expects Max to be a troubadour just like him. And, well, Max is a girl. Women can't be knights. This is Kevin. He lives in Bijovia with his father, an ostler. That means his father takes care of horses. Kevin is going to be an ostler too. Kevin doesn't want to be an ostler. He wants to be a writer. This is Millie and Simon. They also live in Bijovia. They're homeless. The king hates homeless people. Millie and Simon spend most of their time running and hiding from the king's men. They don't have time to worry about what they want to be when they grow up. They just want to stay alive. Max, Kevin, Millie, and Simon don't know each other, but they soon will. They meet the day that Uncle Budrick takes Max to Bijovia, his wonderful old hometown that is ruled by Colin the Kind. Bijovia is nothing like Max's uncle remembers. King Colin is dead. His evil brother Ghastly is now king. Ghastly loves power and making the people of his domain miserable. In the city, they encounter the king. It does not go well. Uncle Budrick is arrested. King Ghastly makes him the royal jester. If Uncle Budrick can't make the king laugh, the king will silence him forever. The only thing that stands between Uncle Budrick and death is Max and her new companions. They call themselves the Midnights. But how can a group of kids defeat an evil king? And what's with that goose? If you enjoy this adventure book, look for the Battle of the Bod Kings next fall on Overdrive. The next book, The Donuts Fix by Jesse Janowitz, is available as an ebook on Overdrive. Tris Levine likes being a city kid. He lives in a fantastic old apartment with his mom, dad, and 2 little sisters. He doesn't particularly like school, but he likes being with his friends at school, especially his friend Charlie. Right now, they're spending all their time practicing for the basketball tryouts. Tris loves eating out with his family, especially at their favorite deli, and he really, really likes to bake. Tris's mom is a chef. She started them all in the kitchen when they were really little. Tris has baked almost everything in Roland Meissner's cookbook, Basics to Beautiful Cakes. Yep, Tris's life was great until his parents decided to move them out of New York City into the country. Way, way out in the country. They're not going to school in January, which is fine with Tris, until his parents tell him he has to come up with a big research project instead. Being in that house is boring. So Tris decides to go into town. The only way he can get to town is to ride his bicycle down a dirt road. Once there, he finds out there really isn't a town anymore. Most of the buildings that were stores on Main Street are all boarded up and closed forever. There isn't even one restaurant. The only 2 businesses left are a really old gas station and a small general store. Thankfully, they have fresh donuts. Tris doesn't think he could stay in this town that didn't at least have fresh donuts. They don't have fresh donuts. That's what the grumpy lady in the store tells him. She got tired of making her wonderful chocolate cream-filled donuts, even though people drove for miles to buy them. She just never got around to taking the sign down. And just like that, Tris knows what his next project is going to be. That big one he has to do by himself. He's going to bring those donuts back to town. He knows how to bake. He just needs to convince that crabby lady running the general store to give him her secret recipe for the donuts. More delicious adventure awaits in the sequel, The Donut King, which can be found on Overdrive. This next book, A Talent for Trouble by Natasha Ferrant, is available as an ebook on Overdrive. At 4:30 on her very first morning at her new school, Alice beat the gong as hard as she could. Students and teachers came flying out of their rooms, still clad in their pajamas. Unwittingly, Alice had rung the fire alarm sequence. Too bad for them. That wasn't like Alice at all. She had been a quiet, gentle girl who lived with her father and aunt in Cherry Grange, her mother and aunt's rundown but wonderful old family home. It didn't matter that her dad was mostly away on acting gigs. Alice had the old garden, her books, her mom's memorial rose bush, and the bench where she wrote secret wild adventures in her notebooks. And then her aunt ruined it all by insisting they sell Cherry Grange and sending Alice to Stormy Loch, a boarding school that's in a castle on a desolate Scottish lake. That, plus the first day betrayal by two boys, which lands Alice face first in the mud and punished with the 4 a.m. wake everybody up with the gong duty for the rest of the semester, was all it took for Alice to go from a quiet good girl to someone with a definite talent for trouble. Our last book, Life Book 12 by Susan Hood, is available as an ebook on Overdrive. Chicago is a beautiful city where many people live, others work, and all of us like to visit. Imagine if Chicago was attacked over and over again. How would people stay safe? That's the world Kenny Sparks and his family and the other people of London were facing at the start of the Second World War. London was being bombed. It wasn't safe for anyone, especially the children. That's why Kenny's father and stepmother decided to send him far away to safety in Canada. Kenny and 89 other children were loaded on the City of Benares, a luxury liner that would carry them from Liverpool, England, to Halifax, Nova Scotia in Canada. Of course, the ship doesn't sail alone. It's part of a convoy with plenty of fighting ships to protect it from the U-boats that lurked underneath the surface. Because of the danger of being sunk, everyone on board the ship had to wear life jackets at all times, even when they went to bed. Until the night the ship was 600 miles from Liverpool, much too far away for U-boats to reach them. That night, they got to go to bed without their life jackets. It felt so good to fall asleep without worrying about being attacked. But they were. As their ship sank, desperate children and adults hurried to the lifeboats. Kenny ended up in Lifeboat 12, stranded out in the Atlantic Ocean with 8 days of water and no help in sight. Will he ever see home again? If you want to learn more about this event, look for Torpedoed, the true story of the World War II sinking of the children's ship by Deborah Hilgeman, which is available at Highland Park Library and on Amazon. Thanks for joining us. Please check hplibrary.org for upcoming virtual programs where we bring library programs to you. And remember, when you're home and you've run out of books, think of us. We're the place you can look a click away. It's so easy and how? That's tertainment. So remember now, don't have a cow, use entertainment. So long. See you next time. Are you still there? Then you must want to know about how to find Overdrive on our website. Go to www.hplibrary.org. Hover over Books, Movies, More. Select Download and Stream from the Books, Movies, More section. Click on Overdrive. Click Sign In. Using the drop-down, select Highland Park Public Library. Enter your library card number, and you're in. Need help downloading an ebook or e-audiobook? Watch the how-to video on our website. Thanks for joining me for this edition of That's Entertainment. See you next time. Goodbye.